Hello everyone, welcome back. So I have been mentioning this and hinting at this plane in a few of my plane videos, and here it is. This is a Stanley number 30 jointer plane. And this was gifted to me from my buddy Mike years and years ago. And this is exactly how it was. I've done absolutely nothing to it. And it's got some stampings on it. I doubt I'm going to be able to get that in frame, but let me try. This says, what's it got there? Sea Hipple. And then in the front here, Stanley, what does it say? Stanley Rule and Level Company number 30. And what I'll do is I'll add a couple pictures in of better shots of that. Now, I was digging around for some information. Let me slide this over a little bit. Hopefully you can see that. So manufactured between 1869 and 1917, 22 inches long length, blade width 2 3/8, cast iron frame, beach bottom, handle and knob, Japan frame, lacquered wood parts, a wood bottom, general purpose plane. Now this was published in 2006, so it's definitely outdated, but uses general purpose, average dealer price 15 to 50, eBay 12 to 35. Then it has the different types and what they're worth. It doesn't say anything about what condition they're in to be worth that. So I did go on eBay and I've seen some that are way better condition than this one. And they really weren't much, $35, $40. I think I saw some on some other sites was like maybe $100. I mean, they were, I don't want to say mint, but they were really good shape. So I have here, well, this is all the parts, so we can talk about them later on. Then I have a flow chart by this, I didn't get the guy's name. Oh, amended version 2001 by Jim Delaney. Additional information from John Walter's book. Antiques and Collectibles Stanley Tools Guide to Value, to Identity and Value. Original version by J. Sutherland after Roger K. Smith and Patrick Leach. So I just want to give props to who made this chart up. And it basically is a flow chart to try to date it. Now, I have no idea what this one is, but what we're going to do, and when I say what we're going to do is what I'm going to do, is not fully restore this. I really don't want to fully restore this. So let me pull this leather cap off. Pull out the iron and the chip breaker. And there is a bunch of, as I was looking at it, there are a lot of markings on this, but they're really, really hard to see. So this chip breaker has a Bailey patent on it, L. Bailey. And this iron, which you're not going to be able to see, has a Stanley patent on it, okay? So what I'm going to do is, this has a lot of surface rust on here, and obviously on here, and it's got some pretty bad pitting surface rust down here. So I am going to soak these two parts in my salt and vinegar bath. And then I'm going to hopefully be able to read the markings and get some of this off, and I'm going to sharpen this iron. I'm guessing this is supposed to be sharpened too, but I'm not 100% sure. But again, I'm not going to go crazy. I think this needs to be flat down here and then have a bevel up here. So we'll visit that. and then I'm going to disassemble it and basically just clean it. Okay, I'm not refinishing the wood. There's a couple chips here or there. You know, I'm not going to go crazy with it. These are the only two parts I'm really going to attempt to kind of bring back, because at the state that they're in, they're pretty rough. All right, so hopefully it doesn't end up being $1 million plane, which I highly doubt. I'm guessing, you know, according to this, and it was a couple years ago, like I said, you know, type 1, 250 to 500, 2 to 4, 100 to 200, 5 and 6, 35 to 75. I really don't think those prices changed much, like I said, because I did see them. I mean, one of them on eBay, I think the guy said he pulled it out of a chest that wasn't open in 100 years. So you can imagine the condition of it. So, all right, so we're going to get at it. I'm going to put these into the vinegar and salt bath. And when they come out, I'll show you them, and then we'll start the disassembly of this plane. All right, so we have the chip breaker and the iron out of the salt and vinegar bath. I'm very pleased with the way it came out. I didn't go crazy polishing or anything. I wanted to keep that patina on it, you know, let it show its age. A lot of that pitting came out. I couldn't get it all out. I mean, I could have, but I would have definitely lost the stamping. This is stamped, the iron is stamped Stanley, Level and Rule Company, I believe it says, August 18th or 11th or something like that, 92. So 1892. And the chip breaker is L. Bailey's, patent December 24th, 1887. So we got an old one here. I saw a couple of these on eBay, just this set of the iron and the chip breaker, and they were going like 114 or something, all the way up to a couple $100 just for this set. I was pretty amazed. I'm going to put a picture in so you can see the stampings a little better. All right, so you see the stampings. This didn't fit into the jig I made to sharpen my plane irons. I showed that in a couple of the videos. So I had to do it by hand. I probably got the angle a little acute, or is it obtuse? Or am I being obtuse? Bonus points if you know what that's from. But I got it pretty sharp. So I'm happy with that. Let's get that out of the way. So now this is beveled down, goes together like this, and there's a certain amount of distance you leave there. Again, I got to do a little bit more research, but for now we'll just put this together, and we'll set this on the side. Now we're going to start to disassemble the rest of the plane. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is loosen these screws here that hold the frog down. And it's funny, I was reading about it, and they call this the frog because it's in the throat, and I forgot the guy's name, but he's like, yeah, it's a frog. And it took a while before Stanley kind of accepted that as the name of it, but it's stuck. And this is called the frog. So besides cleaning it, we want to look for any other markings that are on it, so to see if we could determine the exact age. Now, also was reading, a lot of folks were saying that these screws get stripped out and they would plug them and then put new screws in, but these seem pretty tight. So again, we're going to clean this all up. We're not going to go crazy. Here's the depth adjustment. And I do see stampings in there, which we're going to want to look at going further. Let's see what else we got here. Let's get the tote off. Always use a screwdriver that fits the screw slot. You don't want to bugger up your screws. Alright, we got that. It looks like that's got a little brass. Oh, look at that. Nice. We'll clean that up. Let's take the, I'm not even in frame here, am I? Let's take this knob off. Sawdust. Boy, that's in good shape. Now we'll take, I guess this is the bed. We'll take this off, hopefully. Okay, I'm glad everything's coming out without any resistance. Also, there's another tip for you. If you take something apart, you want to restore it, you know, even if you're not making a video to publish on YouTube, make a video of yourself doing it, or at least take pictures, so that when you go to reassemble it, you know how you disassembled it. Okay. All right. Now hopefully this just, yeah, look at that, it comes right off. Look at the Japanning on that, huh? Man, that's beautiful. There's no rust. There's a little bit of rust on the inside here, but we'll deal with that. And then we have, that's not, I don't think that's rust. I think that might have been the original color, to be honest with you. Look at that. Because it doesn't really come off on my fingers. I think that was the original color of the wood. What did they say? I think they said they used beech, right? Isn't beech a light colored wood? And again, I'm not doing anything to this wood besides just clean it up a little bit. Yeah. So here I was thinking that this might be rust in here, but it's not. As far as I can tell, it's the color of the wood. I'm going to do a little research and see if maybe just put some paste wax on it, which will, you know, clean it. But like all these paint splatters, it's funny. I was watching a guy and he was saying something about don't take paint splatters off of old planes. That collectors like to see that. So, yeah, we're going to leave these paint splatters on there. So we have it all disassembled. Now, for the cleaning part, again, like I said, I'm not going to go crazy. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with the rust spots, because I obviously don't want them to rust more. But I'm going to be very leery of putting a piece like this, which is, I mean, look at that, huh? The Japanning is beautiful on this. I don't want to take a chance of ruining that. So I'll have to figure out, I may get some kind of rust converter, but I'll have to do some research to see if it'll harm paint that's already on there. In this case, Japanning. And then here's the frog. I'm not really seeing any major rust on that. And here's the lever. Nice. All right, so like I said, I'm going to do a gentle cleaning. I'm not going to go crazy on the screws and stuff that have rust, like this and this piece here. And this is obviously brass. And again, not going to clean it, besides just, you know, brushing it off. And this has a little rust on it. So what I'll do is I'll soak these three, well, this is a stud, and these three screws in salt and vinegar, and I'm going to just do a general cleaning on this, and then I'll bring you back and we'll try to look for some hints as far as patent dates and what we're looking at with that flow chart to kind of get an age on this. All right, I'll bring you back. All right, so I got everything cleaned up. I am very, very pleased. I mean, look at this. Again, I'm not an expert at determining the percentage of finish that is original, but I'm gonna have to say this is probably in the 90s, high 90s. Cleaned up beautiful. And that's what over 100-year-old Japanning looks like. So we got that. And here's the frog. The lever cap. Now, as far as the wood parts go, I did nothing. I cleaned up the bottom of the knob and the bottom of the tote and just put a little bit of wax on it because it was kind of dry. But I did nothing to the rest of it. This is the original finish. And just dusted it off. Now, to try to date it. There is a lot of information. Oh, and here's the screws that were rusted out and the stud. Came out nice. I did add a little bit of cold blue on the top of these because I don't think they were shiny. These three here. And here's the depth adjustment knob. These screws are as found. Did nothing to these except clean them up. Alright, so now we'll get this flow chart. Alright, hopefully camera lighting and everything is good. I know when I put something white in here it kind of messes it up, but alright, so it says how many patent dates are cast into the bed? I couldn't find any. So it says, is raised ring cast into bed as receiver for knob? That would be no. I don't see anything there. There's no raised ring, so we're going to say no. Then it says, is plain number, i.e. number 4, cast into the bed? I looked on the entire bed. I did not see any number, so we'll go to no. Is lever cap back recessed? That would be a yes. Is frog receiver a broad rectangular area with a arched rear? Now, is frog receiver a broad rectangular area, I guess, with an arched rear? Yes. So, where are we? Is frog receiver a broad rectangular area with arched rear towards tote? That would be a yes. So it says type 4, 1874 to 1884. But I'm not 100% sure that that's correct because there's some other information that I found. Now, also, where are we here? Is lever cap back recess? As far as, okay. So now, if I say there was a number, how many patent dates appear on the lateral adjustment lever, which is this, right here, and there's 3 patent dates on that, okay? Then we come over to here, and it says, is depth adjustment nut stamped Bailey's patent? Well, yes it is. It's stamped in there, you can hardly see it, but it's stamped in there. Then that brings it and says that it's a, where are we? type 6, which is 1888 to 1892, which would correspond to the patent date that's on the iron. Okay, so I'm leaning towards that. And then I found this information this morning on ways to identify what type plane that you have. And this here says a type 6-7, 1888 to 1899, which fits into the range of the patent date on the iron. And it says 2-piece with disc. Okay. So we have the disc here. And then 3 patent dates, 2876, 102184, and 72488. And they sure enough are right here. You could hardly see them. I couldn't even get a photo of them. You'll have to trust me. They are right here. So I'm going to go with, it's a type 6. And again, type 6. Where are we here? Type 6, 1888 to 1892. And then this information says type 6-7, 1888 to 1899. So that all fits into the range I believe it is. So we're going to call it a type 6. Where are we? Oh man, I'm getting lost here. Patent dates 3. So we're going to go type 6, 1888 to 1892, and we're going to say that this is a 1892. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, let me get rid of all this white nonsense in here, and then we'll reassemble
All
this.
right.
Did I mention that I put the coat of paste wax over everything? And it was just cleaned with dishwashing soap and hot water. There were a couple tough spots. I just used some mineral oil, which doesn't hurt the Japanning, and then a coat of paste wax. So let's reassemble this. See if I can remember where everything went. And I did nothing to the wood bed, I guess. I could see it's warped a little bit, but I'm not touching it. Okay, I didn't even want to put paste wax on it because I don't want to remove any of this finish. So let's see. I believe these 2 screws went here. Don't over tighten your screws. Sometimes I get very anal and have to have the screws, the slots facing all the same way, but I'm really not going to mess with this. All right, let's see. What was next? I believe the frog was next, right? Huh, I'm curious, why does that feel so tight? What I'm going to do is loosen these. Yeah, that feels very tight. I'm not sure why. See if we can figure that out. Again, you don't want to force anything. I mean, they should go in there pretty easy. Yeah, it's going in real easy. So why, when the frog is there, is it not going in easy? Okay, we got it. So let's just loosen this, tighten these back up. Okay. Now this very, very minimal movement here. Oh, let me put it on the right way. You all are probably out there saying, you got it on upside down. You got it on upside down. I'm looking at it and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. You know what? Let me put on the adjustment knob first. It'll be easy to do that when it's out. That's pretty funny. I thought something looked off. All right. Let's put the front knob on. Let's get the tote in. Okay. Let's get this back in. Let's get the iron in. Okay. And finally, the lever cap. All right. Whew. Got it all back together. I think it looks pretty dang nice. It's still got all its original character. And, oh, I got that iron sticking out way too much. Look at that, huh? All right, let me, I'm going to adjust this, and we're going to take it for a spin. All right, I'm over at my messy bench. I have no idea how this is going to work because the sole isn't flat, but let's give it a shot. Well, I got way too much. I don't know if you can see that. So I got way too much iron sticking out because it's banging into that. I could see it. All right. Let me make a slight adjustment on that with the depth adjuster, which is in a very weird spot. Make sure I'm going the right way. Let's try that. Ho 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 ho! Oh! That's definitely a deep cut, but look at that. Did you hear that? Let me drop it down a little bit more. I think I went the wrong way. Wow. Okay. So it definitely works. Who knows when the last time that cut some wood. Look at that, huh? I don't know if you can see the shadow behind there. Pretty thin slice. All right, I'm going to call that a success. I'll bring you back over to the bench. Where's my fingers? There they are. I'll bring you back over to the bench and we'll wrap this up. All right, so there you have it. It works. I'm sure if the bed was flattened, I mean the sole was flattened, this thing would really, really work well. It worked pretty well just the way it was. But I'm happy that I didn't go full-blown restoration on it. I think that would severely hurt the value of this thing. Again, I don't know how much it's worth. If I had a guess, I'm going to say from what I saw with the iron and the chip breaker and the amount of Japanning that's left on this, the condition of everything, if I had a guess, I'm just going to throw a number and say somewhere between 400 and 500. You know, for those purists that want it just the way it was found kind of thing. And again, I didn't do anything to it as far as the finish goes to, you know, decrease that value. The iron and the chip breaker were the only things really that had, you know, all the rust removed. Everything else was, like I said, a pretty good shape. So again, if someone out there is a plane collector and you know values, I'd be very, very interested to know what you think about my take on it. You know, it being a Type 6, 1892, and the value of it. But so here it is. We'll give you one last look. It's going up on shelf. I have no interest in selling it or anything. I'm just curious. But it definitely cleaned up good. So there you have it, folks. My 1892 Type 6 Stanley, number 30. So thanks for coming along. I had fun with this. I'll tell you, it's sort of like unwrapping a package and looking what's in it, you know, when you see underneath how nice everything is. So I was really pretty stoked. Had to do quite a bit of research and this and that and this place and that place, but I think I kind of got it nailed down. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sending you all much, much love, my brothers and sisters. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you all are staying well, and we'll see you on the next one.